Why, yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? Um, Tonight we are going to do an episode on the 1990 Major League debut up until the 1990 Major League debut. We have a good little panel tonight with us, returning back to the show all the way out in near Los Angeles. Jason, welcome back, buddy.
Adam, glad to be back. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Thanks for having me back.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I am well. I am getting ready to talk our 1990s top debuts here, and let's get this rolling, man. Looking to have some fun here.
All right. Next, we're going to bring in Mr. Ryan. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, Adam? It's glad to be back. Sorry I missed the last show.
That's all right. I hope you're feeling better. I know you had some issues come up, and no reason to rush back, but the show must go on, as they say.
Yeah, sure does. Excited.
That's all right. So you doing good now? You all better?
We're getting there. It'll take some time, but I'm good enough to show face and talk about maybe the best era of baseball in my opinion. So we'll.
Even though it's always going to go down as an asterisk.
Yeah, well,
the later half of the decade, anyway.
It is what it is.
Right. That's all right. I like this. I love the home run chase. They had to do something to bring it back, but we'll bring that up in a little bit. Let's bring in our last guest from a seventh inning stretch and returning guest.
Hello, I'm Logan, and I'm an alcoholic. Oh wait, wrong episode.
Wrong group of people, man.
Or is it? No. Hi.
What's up, Logan? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm already down my last rum and coke, so this is sad. I may have to leave here real quick and grab a beer, but other than that, I'm okay.
Well, hurry the scratch up. I told you to be ready to go.
I was ready to go, but then I got thirsty.
Well, we all do.
Yeah, right.
So tonight we're going to talk about some 90s, the 99 MLB debut. Got interesting for a while. You think you got this guy, and then all of a sudden you look up his stats and you see 1988, 1989 debut. Whether he played 6 games to 100 games, he still debuted in the 80s, and all of a sudden he gets scratched off your list. And that guy might have been like a dominant player for the whole 90s because he came in the late 80s. And that could have been like Craig Biggio, someone left off the list. Jay, do you remember if you made anyone's list from the last time?
Well, I want to say Craig Biggio was on my list last time. I had an honorable mention out there to Cal Ripken Jr., but I don't recall if that was ever solidified, so can't accurately answer that question, man.
All right. So what did you guys think? Was it hard to find these guys? Was it easy?
Yeah. Well, it was hard. It was hard for me to find them because, like you mentioned, Adam, a lot of these guys started their careers off either in the mid to late 80s, and then they branched on over into the 90s, and then they had the primes of their career in the 90s. So, yeah, this one was a little bit tougher than the previous one that we talked about, which was the 70s. So, yeah, tough one for me.
Do you think it was tougher, Jay, because we actually watched these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I was born in 1975, so I never watched any. Well, I watched some of the guys that debuted like in the late 70s and the early to mid 80s, but yeah, because we actually had a chance to see these guys in the primes of their career, but we also got a chance to see them with multiple teams in multiple leagues. So yeah, that's what made it tough as well.
All right, Ryan.
Not really that tough for me. I talked about it a little bit, in the intro. This was my favorite era of baseball. So I got thousands of baseball cards from guys that started in the 90s, because I was born in 96. So I grew up when these guys were in their primes, early 2000s, and debuted in the 90s. This was my era of baseball. So,
Logan?
This one was a little difficult to me because I was like, oh, well, this will be easy because, the 90s, man. And then I was like, oh, I got Barry Bonds. Oh, shit. He was around in 88. Oh, Mark McGwire. Duh. Oh, crap. He was 88 also. King Griffey Jr. So I'm like, what the heck? You can't have a 90s list without these 3 guys. I mean, they're like they're the big cheese in this whole thing. And then, so after I got over that, I was like, oh, well then I got Larry Walker. Oh shit, 85. Anyway, so, but I'm fine. I'm fine. We're fine.
Figured it out.
Yeah, right.
A lot of Cardinal guys there, Logan.
Yeah, a lot, a little bit.
Well, I had Jeff Kent leading off, playing second.
Oh, we're doing yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're doing NL first. I forgot.
Yeah, I said we were doing NL first, but
I
you
forgot.
were drinking. Your ice was making all the noise, Logan.
He's sitting there like, AL first. Got it.
Who you got leading off, Rye?
I do have Jeff Kent on my team, but I have the man, the myth, the legend, one of the most underrated players in baseball history, Bobby Abreu, leading off. Fantastic at seeing pitches, over 100 walks, 8 consecutive years, 395 career OBP with a 485 slugging. So he brought it all, and he stole over 40 bases a couple times too. I think he had 400 some for his career. So he was no slouch. Good leadoff hitter.
Well, you got to watch him a lot, didn't you?
Bobby Abreu, yeah, I got to watch him a little bit. I was a big Abreu fan. Good fielder too. I think he was underrated there.
Jay, you look ready to go.
Yeah, so I have my leadoff hitter as Barry Larkin, Cincinnati Reds. We all know that he debuted in '90. He has 6 Silver Slugger awards, about 7, 8 All-Star berths, and then he was the 1995 National League Most Valuable Player. I think his career kind of got overshadowed a lot because he played in the same league as Ozzie Smith. There you go, Logan Ozzie Smith, the Wizard of Oz. But he was Ozzie was better defensively than Barry, but Barry could hold his own. And he was just a great all-around underrated hitter. So Barry Larkin is my leadoff guy.
I have Barry Larkin starting in '86.
Yeah.
Did he start in '86? I was pretty sure he debuted. Oh, you know what? You're probably. God damn it! I messed up again, didn't I? Son of a bitch.
You scared
My
me
bad.
for a second. I thought, oh no.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I forgot Barry Larkin.
Oh, what was I saying about this being difficult? Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Never
I
mind.
was like, I would have had Barry Larkin up there in a minute.
I was like,
Yeah, I was like, man, I got to change my lineup real quick. Oh, man.
Well, sorry, psych.
Yeah, right.
So we'll come back to you, Jay. We'll give you a break. We'll give you a breather.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All right,
My,
Logan, who you got leading off?
My leadoff is my shortstop. He's a hero of mine. Became a St. Louis Cardinal in '98. Was a World Series hero in '97 on my birthday, the day I was born, actually, on October 26th, 1997. Mr. Edgar Renteria, the greatest shortstop of all time. Okay.
Oh, I got him also.
I do have Edgar Renteria, but I will just let that last part that you just said slide.
I was looking at Jimmy Rollins.
Well, he was 2001.
Yeah.
I
Don't
looked
worry.
at
The
Jimmy
next
Rollins, too.
show, I'll be in here leading off. Number 11, shortstop Jimmy Rollins.
Are you going to have the entire 2009 Phillies team or 2008 Phillies team on your 2000s lineup?
I'll probably have the big 3. And no, I'll have probably 2 of them in there. I mean, in all honesty, it'd be super disrespectful to lead Albert Pujols out of my lineup. So sorry, Howard, but kick rocks.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I guess I do have a Philly on my team. I guess I do. Didn't realize it. Jay, did you figure it out?
Yeah. Actually, I got to figure it out. I'm going to go against the grain here, and I'm going to go with my boy from LA, Raul Mondesi. He debuted in 1993, I believe it was 1993 National League Rookie of the Year. Had a cannon for an arm in right field. Had great speed in the outfield. Was a very good base stealer. Underrated hitter. I think if Mondesi had really harnessed his pure talent, he could have been a greater ball player than he was. But I'm going to go with Raul Mondesi.
Solid.
Nice.
Yeah, solid player. Yeah, he was great. He was underrated, solid. And even though there was something missing out on him there for a little bit, still he was good. He was good.
One of those dudes that definitely would have been appreciated more if defense was appreciated more in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his defensive WAR is still right up there among the top 50 or 100 players in the last 20, 30 years. So you can't argue with that. You're absolutely right.
Him and Omar Vizquel break my heart that they're not appreciated as much as they should be.
Yeah,
That shortstop. Vizquel was a great shortstop.
16 Gold Gloves. How are you going to argue that?
All-time leader in double plays turned.
Yep. How can you argue that? You can't.
Second, I have Moises Alou batting second. I don't have any stats written down. I feel very lost in this episode tonight, boys. But like I said, work's been hectic this week, and I've been trying to do my lineup in and out. So I do have more stats for the AL, though. So, but I have Moises Alou playing the outfield somewhere.
Probably right field. He spent
128 OPS plus in the 90s.
Well, left field, he just gets in the fights with players, right? People in the stands. Right. Who you got batting second, Logan?
I have, who was it? Oh, another Cardinal, actually. Ray Lankford, center fielder for the Cardinals. He was one of my favorite players growing up, too. And then Albert came along, and I thought, who is anybody else? So, yeah, Ray Lankford, great center fielder, great defensive center fielder, in my opinion. But, definitely should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. But whatever.
I think that was the common theme for me in the 90s is when I was looking dudes up to get specific stats. They weren't in the Hall of Fame, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
Like Jeff Kent is not in the Hall of Fame, and it's like, well, then no second baseman that has ever played after him should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right.
I agree with that.
He's the best hitting second baseman that any of us have seen in our lifetime.
Jay's gonna disagree. That's his enemy.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty generous tonight.
Who you got batting second, Ryan?
I got Jeff Bagwell. Again, another walk master. As I touched on in a previous show, he is one of 2 first basemen ever with 30 home runs and 30 steals in a season. He did it twice. And he just mashes the ball. He led the league in runs 3 times. He led the league in doubles once. He has 488 career doubles to 449 homers, 297 average, 408 OBP, 540 slugging for a 948 OPS with a 149 OPS plus. Jeff Bagwell is like probably my favorite first baseman behind Albert Pujols because Pujols is just a machine. I mean, that's how he earned the nickname. But yeah, Jeff Bagwell's right up there. Fantastic defender, complete 5-tool player, and it's not something that you see from the first base position anymore.
I have Bagwell as well, but we'll talk about him where I have him. Jay.
I went with Jeff Bagwell also. For the same reasons that Ryan mentioned. That's all I have to say.
Gotcha. Well, who you got batting third then?
Who I have batting third, I actually went against the grain on this one, and I'm pretty sure he debuted in the 90s, but if I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll correct me. And I went with Matt Williams of the Giants, great third baseman. I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Williams debut either in, please tell me it was 90 that he debuted, not 89? I think it is. Let me look here real quick.
Matt Williams, 87.
God dang it. All right, I messed up again. Well, then in that case, I'm going to go to my reserve, Adam. I got a reserve, and that's Chipper Jones. I know for a fact he debuted in 1990. The third greatest switch hitter in the history of the game behind Mickey Mantle and Eddie Murray. Yeah, Chipper Jones. There we go. I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, Chipper Jones.
If you get a baseball reference,
yeah,
like on an open screen,
yeah, I'm on it right now.
You can type in their name, and if you scroll down, it tells you what year they debuted.
Oh yeah, right. Amongst all those other numbers there. Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, Chipper Jones for me.
I went with Edgar Renteria batting third.
It's a bold pick for batting third.
I don't know.
I'm sure Logan, loves Renteria, but
yeah, I was gonna either have him at the 1-2 spot or after, the big hitters, just because you can't have a lineup with Chipper Jones and Jeff Bagwell and then not have them in the 3, 4, 5 spot.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but hey,
I went with speed in my first three.
yeah.
I went with Chip batting third also, though. I mean, just an all-around great hitter. I mean, found every gap that there was on any baseball field. For over 300 lifetime hitter. So,
of course, I say that, and Jeff Kent is my third. So I'm full of hypocrisy today.
dude, Jeff Kent hit bombs.
Yeah.
That's
He should be in the Hall.
You know what's sad is I've gotten into so many arguments with Phillies fans who think Chase Utley is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and my resort option is if Jeff Kent's not in the Hall of Fame, Chase Utley won't be. And that's the sad reality of it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, on that. Here's a different train of thought. Okay, for so many years, a lot of traditionalists said, well, Andre Dawson's never going to make the Hall of Fame. Great, solid, all-around player. Finally made the Hall of Fame. All right. And so now I think you're going to, because not necessarily just because of that, but you're now going to start to hear guys like Keith Hernandez get mentioned. And I think even Chase Utley will get put in that discussion as well. Am I saying that Utley will make it? No, but he stands a very good chance of making it just simply because of some of those other contributions that he was known for just beyond what he did on the field. It just seems to me, at least, like a lot of the voters are starting to teeter that way more, especially since they're still pretty hell-bent on keeping a lot of the steroid users out of the Hall.
Yeah. I mean, Chase Utley had a great 5-year peak, don't get me wrong, but, I mean,
Jeff
Kent had over 100 more home runs than he did, had a higher batting average by about 15 points. I mean, if you look at every statistic Jeff Kent was just better across the board, and he only got, 50% of the vote at his highest?
Yeah, I think so.
I have
Utley
Andrew
should be in
Jones batting cleanup. Go ahead, Logan. What were you saying?
I was going to say Utley should be in the Hall of Fame for breaking that Mets guy's leg.
Oh yeah,
in
Flores.
2015.
Yeah, he snapped it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a hard nose slide.
Automatically.
Yeah. That was
automatic Hall of Fame. Hall of Famer right there, right? No. Sorry. Go ahead.
Went with Andrew Jones batting fourth.
Really?
I think I
believe he came in the league.
I have him batting fifth, so
yeah. Maybe it's because I had him. I mean, I have him in my lineup, but I have him a lot lower just because maybe I just remember him from when he was just really bad in the 2000s. But anyways, I'll go ahead.
Brian Jordan.
No, Jeff Bagwell is my cleanup guy.
Jason, you're gonna like my cleanup hitter, Mike Piazza, the best hitting catcher of all time.
That's my guy too. I went with Piazza for cleanup as well.
427 home runs as a catcher. I mean, he was a different breed as far as hitting goes. 308 career average, 545 career slugging. Best hitting catcher of all time.
Yeah, well, and something else too is that even though he was not considered one of the greatest defensive catchers of all time, I watched him in his prime, and let me tell you, that guy took one hell of a beating behind home plate. He may not have been a Pudge Rodriguez, but he could definitely hold his own, if not among the best.
Yeah, a lot of people have Piazza over Rodriguez for the 90s. I don't know why.
Well, I think because of the power, Adam. I mean, Ivan Rodriguez had power as well, but Piazza hit for power more consistently than what Rodriguez did. Pudge was a better all-around offensive catcher because he had better numbers with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, and he had a better, I think, OBPS for his career. Actually, no, Piazza had the better OBPS, but the point is that Piazza is known more for the prodigious power, while Pudge is known for being just a great all-around hitter, could spray the ball all over the place, do all sorts of things.
And he was a really good defensive catcher, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, better. Yeah, just because. Yeah.
He had 427 home runs, so that's decent numbers.
Yes, it is.
He had almost over 2,100 hits.
Yep.
And he went after Clemens. That could be why he's number one at 1-2.
Yeah, I mean he's a badass dude too. So
I almost got his Mets gear off him one game. He was in the bullpen, and I was a big Mets fan in the 80s. I followed Strawberry and Gooden and all those guys, but I was standing there in all Mets gear, and I was like, "Come on, just give me your catcher gear." And he's like, "You'll never catch it." And it was the old Three Rivers where the bullpens were 30, 50, 40 feet down over the wall, and He wouldn't give it to me. I was mad. But whatever. I tried. At least I talked to the guy. That was my only memory of Mike Piazza, like live. I mean, there's on TV. That's a whole different story. But, watching the Clemens and Piazza fight, that was always interesting.
Oh, yeah. That was great. Wasn't that the one where Clemens just flat out chucked the broken bat at him?
He was just throwing it off the field.
Oh, okay.
Piazza was just standing there.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Oh, that's right. That was Piazza.
Sorry, so we got Piazza batting fourth, and Logan had who?
Bagwell.
I had Chipper batting fifth.
I had Andrew Jones.
There it is.
Drop bombs, but man, couldn't hit for average to save his life. Four-tool
what he
player,
bat,
man.
234, I think.
In the outfield, too.
Is he batting 234? Is that what he was batting?
254 for his career. But yeah, he was a great defender too. So I think he won like 8 Gold Gloves or something like that.
Like Chipper Jones, you could have put in the outfield too. You didn't have
Yeah,
to
he
leave
played
him
left
third.
field for a little bit there.
Yeah, so it said it says both on Baseball Reference.
I almost
But
did
I had
that.
him at third base. I had him at third.
I did almost have Chipper in left field, and then I had to look up Biggio, and I was like, damn.
Who you got batting fifth, Lo?
I have Andrew Jones also. And I was switching between Chipper and Andrew, but figured Andrew.
Jay.
Yeah, I went with Andrew Jones also.
I went with Jeff Conine in the sixth spot.
Jeff
Chipper.
Conine, the Barbarian.
I have Chipper Jones there.
I have Lance Berkman.
Ooh.
DH, because I don't trust him to do anything else. But
He had a couple of good plays.
dude, I mean, he was a 406 career on base percentage with a 537 slugging. I mean, he wasn't a slouch.
I thought
Yeah.
Berkman was 2000. He was 99.
Yeah, he started in 99.
Yeah, he had 34 games or something, right?
Yeah, I don't even think he qualified for Rookie of the Year that year. He didn't, but nonetheless, 1999 is 1999, baby.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I like about this Baseball Reference. It gives you like pretty much everything.
I have the subscription to like the Baseball Reference and statistics and whatnot. Pay like $40 a year, so I get like all the analytics off of it.
Need to get that. But yeah, Lance Berkman. I talk about this all the time. I think he had one of the greatest views of the plate, like ever. I mean, I think Juan Soto and Matt Carpenter back in his day, even Albert Pujols a little bit. But I mean, Albert Pujols was different because he jacked anything that was even around the plate. But Lance Berkman, I think, had the best views of the plate I'd seen ever. So,
And Berkman's numbers are a little deflated from batting behind Lee and Bagwell for most of his career too. So think about all those guys stealing his RBIs.
yeah.
I was gonna say what he only had 1,600 hits, I think. I'm off the page already.
No, he was
I'm
just
going
short
off
of
memory.
2,000.
Did he? It broke.
He was
okay.
just short. I mean, he had almost as many walks as he did strikeouts, though. So
Jay, who you got batting sixth, bud?
Who I have batting sixth, I have, let's see, I probably messed up my list again. I think I'm just going to go with, you know what? I'm going to go with another Dodger, and that's Eric Karros. He debuted in 92. Great first baseman, underrated first baseman, in my opinion. Went to only one All-Star game, should have been to more. It's still the LA Dodgers, not Brooklyn, but the LA Dodgers all-time career leader in home runs. I think won about 4 or 5 Gold Gloves at first base. Great all-around player. Again, very underrated. Only went to one All-Star game, should have been to more, but I went with Eric Karros.
since we all talked about our first baseman, the sleeper for me, and I really wanted to put him in here because he's one of my favorite players, was Todd Helton. I love
Oh.
watching Todd Helton play baseball, man. I know his numbers are a little inflated from playing in Colorado, but that didn't help his 320 career batting average. I mean, he good at the plate, good in the field, but
Kind
Yeah,
of the
just
story
didn't-
of his career is like we always have to leave him out because there's Jeff Bagwell who just was better than him, Albert Pujols, even your guy, your first baseman Ryan Howard,
and Jim Tomei.
Jim
he played
Tomey,
in-
yeah, Frank
yeah.
Thomas, yeah. He was always left out of the conversation just because the first baseman like is just so stacked in that era.
Super nice guy too.
One of his best plays ever was against Matt Carpenter, though, at the end of his career, that pickoff.
I was watching that game and I said, Mark, don't get off the base, whatever you do. And he got off the base, and I thought, well, that's fun. That's great.
The little got him.
Oh, gosh. It hurts.
You know who
so
was
much.
pitching that game? Roy Oswalt.
Roy Oswalt.
For Colorado.
I believe he was playing Carlos Martinez also, and the
Yep.
Rockies ended up winning that game on a walk-off, if I remember correctly. I remember that series for some reason. Anyways,
I have Bagwell batting 7th.
Sheesh. He's eating
Mike
your
Piazza.
dog out?
I went with my power later. I went with 3 power bats to end my lineup.
I went with Kent batting 7th.
I don't know. I mixed things up this time.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, wait till you hear the NO. You got batting 7th, Logan.
I had Mike Piazza. I probably could have moved him up a little. Probably replaced Andrew Jones, but I don't know. I just figure he's going to be slow, and even he can drive in those other guys that didn't get a home run. There's my reasoning.
All the guys are like, man, I only got a double.
Jay,
Is this
you
a
got
regulation
batting
field or
7th.
what?
Who do I have batting 7th?
Yeah.
Who do I have batting 7th? I have a guy who debuted in the 80s again, so I messed this up. I messed it up again. I had Larry Walker because obviously he debuted with the Expos, but he debuted in '89, I think. So yeah, I'll have to come up with a alternate on that one there. Give me a second.
Man, I remember every year for like 4 years, Larry Walker was so close to getting voted into the Hall of Fame.
Right?
Oh, man. He was like within like 10% for like 3 or 4 years in a row.
I honestly think there. Foolish Baseball. He made a video on Larry Walker saying, "So you didn't vote Larry Walker into the Hall of Fame." I think that video actually helped him get enough of a buzz around him to get him voted in.
Larry
Yeah.
Walker should have been in the Hall of Fame.
I just hate that narrative that like Colorado inflates your stats. Like, yeah, I mean it does for Todd Helton, but Larry Walker was also good when he was in St. Louis. So
He's also
yeah.
good when he was in the Expos, right?
Yeah.
He's an MVP. Maybe not with the Expos. I think maybe it was with Colorado, but
It was with Colorado. Yeah, he wasn't
yeah,
an MVP. With,
97, I think it was.
yep, 97.
Yeah.
hmm
He still deserves to be in there, though. Well, I mean, he's in there now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
yeah, he got voted in 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ever been to Cooperstown?
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
So
Not yet.
nice.
I've never been to Cooperstown either.
One of my favorite memories of Larry Walker was when it's the All-Star game and he's playing against or he's hitting against Randy Johnson, and he puts his helmet on backwards and he tries to hit right-handed, and
Yeah, I remember that.
that's so great. Just so funny.
I wouldn't want to be a lefty against Johnson.
No,
Did he get a hit?
I think he struck out.
I think roughly about 4,600 other people did that too. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
right.
feel bad if it was him.
No, that guy was pretty good. Jay, we come up with a 7-spot hill.
Still looking for my seventh, but you know what? I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with who's the guy? And Ryan, you probably know this. Who was the guy that was on that '93 Phillies team? I think he debuted. I know it wasn't John Kruk debuted in the late '80s, so it wasn't Kruk. But
What position?
thinking of third base.
Scott Rowland?
Yeah, Scott Rowland.
Yeah, Scott Rowland. Thank you very much. Forgot about Rowland there for a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish I could forget about Rowland too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people remember Roland as a Cardinal.
Yeah.
He hated playing in Philadelphia.
Oh gosh, he hated playing for Tony La Russa towards the end. There, it seemed like.
I think everyone.
I feel like he
playing
was
for
just a
Tony
dude that
Russo
was
now.
never going to be happy, no matter where he was or what he was doing.
Yeah,
He was a hell of a ball player, though.
yeah.
I have Jim Edmonds in my A spot.
It's exactly who I have, Jim Edmonds.
See, I was going to do that, but he wasn't a Cardinal in the '90s. He was a
No, Jim Edmonds debuted with the Angels in the '90s.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's why-
Yeah,
I
but
said,
it's whoever
I
he
just-
played for longer in his
Oh,
career.
Yeah, I just
I mean,
went whoever
that's-
he played for longer.
Yeah, I mean that's whatever. I just was like, I
Yeah.
kind of want.
He played for
Edmonds
8
in.
years for St. Louis, and then I think 7 in the American League.
That was
it
actually the
7?
dude I was very specifically referencing when I said, "How the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame?" And that defense is criminally
That's who I
underrated.
figured you were talking about, and I was
Yeah.
like, we'll save it.
Yeah,
like
Jim Edmonds was a beast in that outfield, man.
Yes, he was.
had a good
I
bat
mean-
too.
probably single-handedly saved the Cardinals in 2004 with his. Well, I mean, obviously he hit the walk-off home run in Game 6, and then also in that game he saved a couple of runs with his diving catch. So, I mean, I love Jim Edmonds. He's a color commentator now for the Cardinals, and half the Cardinals fans hate him now as the announcer, but I love
And
him.
a 903 OPS for his career. I mean, nothing to bat an eye at.
Why do they hate him as an announcer?
He reminisces too much about the good old days. I mean, the 2000 Cardinals, I mean, he was a part of the big three. So, I mean, Albert Pujols, Scott Rowland, and Jim Edmonds.
Why wouldn't you talk? Well,
I
mean,
don't-
there's a point to stop, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's always good to talk about the good old days.
Yeah. I mean, I like listening about it. Better than watching the Cardinals get destroyed during a game by the Reds, but whatever.
To be fair, that's literally what we're doing is talking about the good old days. So
Yeah. Back in my day.
You got bat and eighth,
we're
Logan.
actually talking about other dudes like good old days. We're not even talking about our own good old days.
Yeah, right. I have Lance Berkman, the Big Puma. Also, apparently, Fat Elvis, which I think is sad. Another great thing is the 2011 World Series. I remember he strikes out, and as he's striking out and walking away, he turns to the umpire and says, "That's not a strike." And so, in his next at bat, the umpire actually comes up to him and says, "Hey, was that a strike? I didn't know. I thought that was a strike." And he said, "Oh yeah, it did actually catch the corner. I looked back, but like he's one of the, like I was talking about, one of the best eyes. Like he's just one of those guys that was just so good that even umpires had to be like, wait, is that actually a strike or is that a ball?" And so, anyways, but that was one of my favorite memories of Lance Berkman.
Yeah,
Being one of the best hitters in the 2011 Cardinals.
I hated playing the Astros.
Yeah.
The Astros were so good in the early 2000s, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how they didn't win more than one World Series.
Yeah,
And
right.
they had Carlos Beltran, Bagwell, Lee,
Lee, Biggio, Berkman,
Biggio.
Oswalt, Lidge on the back end. I mean,
Roger Clemens.
They had an
Rob
underrated hitter by the. They had an
Billy
underrated hitter
Wagner
by
was
the name of
over there
Derek
for a little
Bell.
while.
What's
Oh
your
my god.
I was just going to say they had an underrated hitter by the name of Derek Bell, who was always known for saying "yo yo yo." Remember Derek Bell, the Killer Bees, Bagwell, Biggio, and Bell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Derek Bell took a lot of money from the Pirates and like quit like the next day.
And then Andy Pettit and Roger Clemens and Roy Oswald and who was that fourth guy?
That
There was a
lineup
full-
was dangerous.
Yeah.
It was no, it wasn't Wandy Rodriguez. It was a big old loopy left-hander. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Hold on.
This is gonna destroy me.
2004 Astros pitchers.
It wasn't Wandy. It was another lefty. I'm 99% sure it was another lefty.
Pitchers. Brandon Back. Bollinger. Not Dotel.
What year?
I'm thinking of 2004. Oh, Qualls. Qual? Is that it?
Chad
Qualls?
No, he was the back end reliever
Yeah,
guy.
no.
Uh,
Darren Oliver, Wade Miller, Brad Lidge, Carlos Hernandez, Chad Harville.
it wasn't some guy named Peter Monroe, was it?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I can't remember it now.
Brad Ausmus.
Brad Ausmus.
Brad Osmus he was another
Catcher,
one of them
right?
like good catchers. Yeah, like he was good behind the. I mean, he wasn't a fantastic hitter, but called a good game.
Ryan, here's one for you. I totally forgot about this guy, man, in their bullpen that year. They had Brad Lidge. Long before he was known as Long Ball Lidge in Philadelphia, he was Lights Out Lidge in Houston.
He was lights out Lidge in Philadelphia. He has the third longest career save streak.
I thought his nickname there was Long Ball Lidge because he couldn't keep it in the yard.
No, he got that.
There was
he got
a little
that
bit.
nickname after he gave up the Pujols home run.
Pujols home run. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected then.
He did have a little bit of a wonky, I think it was like 2006 and 7. And then kind of came back and became really good again.
Yeah, it was after 2007 because he came to the Phillies.
Was it
in
Mike
2008.
Gallo?
Yeah. Maybe. I saw that and that sounded familiar, but
who was it?
Gallo? What was it?
Octavio Dotel, maybe.
No, he was a reliever for like 30 years.
Yeah. Mike Gallo, I think his name was.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Wade
it was
Miller.
Mike Gallo. Left
Wade
hand.
Miller?
I don't know.
I'm just going to start shooting out names.
Yeah, we're just knocking them off here one by one.
Who's our number 9 hitters?
I have Mike Piazza. I went with Piazza.
I went with David Justice. Now, I know David Justice made his appearance in 89, but he only played 12 games in 89.
That's
So
still a debut. That's still a debut, Jason.
Oh, seriously? You're not going to grade on a curve on that one?
No,
I wanted David Justice also. I wanted David Justice so bad.
Why do you think he was able to get Berkman in there? He played for 30 games in 99.
Yeah.
All right. I tried to cheat. Sorry. I wasn't too successful. All right. My bad.
No, because I looked at Justice too and I was like, shit, won't fucking fit. Just like that glove.
Yeah, right.
Oh gosh.
All right, then I need to come up with a better number 9 hitter then. Sorry.
Mine's Renteria. I mean, he was a solid ball player. NL shortstop wasn't fantastic as far as 90 debuts go, but he amongst a legion of hitters, he was the worst. That's why I had him at number 9.
Was it Dotel?
No,
it wasn't.
Octavio.
I think he was a righty too. Octavio Dotel. My number 9 guy is Scott Rowland.
he should be in the Hall too.
Yeah, great defensive third baseman. Probably did get overshadowed by Chipper Jones a lot in his career, but I mean, still great underrated player. I mean, even when he was with the Phillies and he hated the Phillies, he was still pretty great. And then he started playing with, the really good Cardinals, and he just was amazing.
To be fair, he did us better than JD Drew did us. So that was God.
Look at that shit-eating grin.
JD Drew, I used to love him so much, and then we traded him away for a minor league pitcher named Adam Wainwright, and I was like, okay, I'm over him.
Well, you know what happened to JD Drew, right, in the Phillies? They drafted him number 1 overall, and then he didn't sign because he didn't want to go to Philadelphia. So then he got drafted the next year by the Cardinals.
That's right. I forgot.
So, yeah, the entire fan base in Philadelphia, he's probably enemy number 1 as far as, like, the Phillies fan base is concerned.
Really?
Yeah. Because JD Drew was, like, the next big thing, too. I mean, he was drafted number 1 overall and then just said, no, I'm not signing, so I don't want to go to Philadelphia.
Gosh.
Poor Eli Manning.
Eli Manning just did it. He was like, no, I'm not going to sign with the Chargers. And then somehow the Giants were able to draft him instead.
It was a trade.
Yeah, it was a trade. That's right. Yeah.
Drafted him anyway.
Yeah.
Chargers drafted him, but he wasn't going to play. And then they took a shot at him and blindly made the trade.
Oh, my gosh. So dumb.
Jay, who you got batting ninth, bud?
All right. Well, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and go with Adam. Who's your number 9 hitter?
Mike Piazza.
Well, I already have Piazza. I had him earlier up. I think my third or fourth hitter. All right, I'm just going to go with the all-time stinker. I'm just going to go with Delino DeShields, baby. Oh no, I can't because Delino DeShields debuted in the late '80s too. All right. Well, in that case, I'm just going to go with Todd Hollandsworth of the Dodgers. Debuted in '96. Why the hell not?
Pitchers.
Pedro
Martinez. I had to
Hard
double check to make sure that he was with I had to make sure that the Expos were an NL team. I thought they were, but then I was like, why do I feel
Yeah,
like
he was
they're
with the NL for 11 years.
Yeah.
He spent 8 years in Philly too in 2009.
Yeah.
So did everyone go Pedro?
Yeah, definitely Pedro.
I voted for Pedro.
I knew that was coming.
Yuck.
Debuted in 92.
Fantastic.
I went with Rob Nedden as my closer.
I went with Trevor Hoffman because I'm not. Who? Who did you go with?
Who, me? Rob Nedden.
I went with Trevor Hoffman because he is the greatest walkout song of all time.
Hell's Bells, AC/DC.
Yeah, Ryan Helsley is trying to steal that, and I'm like, I don't want to do that ever.
I think you were just going for a metal show, Rye, for our closers.
I'm going with Jason Isringhausen.
I like Isringhausen.
He's one of my favorite closers of all time. One of my favorite players of all time, honestly. I mean, everybody from that 2000s lineup, but technically he was an A. Oh, no, he was a Met in the 90s. Never mind. So, yeah, we're good.
He's good?
We're good.
Logan, do you need to grab a beer before we go into the AL lineup?
I'm about to, yeah.
All right, go ahead before we start.
I'm going to go fill up my water real quick.
All right. I'm going to go grab my drink too real quick. Jay, you're in charge.
All right, sounds good. So sorry I messed up my lineup, everybody. Like Adam said, this was a tough one, but we got some good players on the list. I only threw out Todd Hollandsworth there because, hell, I just ran out of options. I didn't know what the heck I was doing there, so my bad. Here comes Adam. He's coming back real quick. I have been the host of a show before. I do another podcast with my brother-in-law. It's kind of a pop culture podcast, so yeah, I do a few of these.
Grabbing the Bud Lights.
Yeah.
Jay, what
Does
day? What
anybody
day?
want
When,
any? Or
when am I coming on your show, asshole?
me?
Well, first of all, asshole, I'll have to ask my brother-in-law because it's his podcast. He just asked
Oh.
me to do it with him. But no, seriously, I'll talk to him and I'll let you know when our next day is coming up for a broadcast, and then I'll toss out an invite to you, man.
All right, cool. Make
Seriously,
sure you send
I
me some
will.
topics too, or what's he talking about? Random stuff.
We talk mostly about like pop culture, entertainment, TVs, movies, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, stuff like that. But Adam, we try and mix it up. We try and do some, not just like movie reviews and TV reviews, but sometimes we'll talk about like best TV vehicles of all time, best movie vehicles of all time, best props, best scenes, best cameos, stuff like that. And we actually put all of our ideas on an app called Padlet. So we'll jot down topics that we want to discuss on Padlet. That way we don't have to, write anything down on paper and then worry about tossing it up and throwing it out the next day. But I'll let them know you're interested. And then when I find out when we're going to go on next, I'll toss out an invite and keep you abreast of that and let you know.
All right. I'm not real good with movies and stuff, but I can do my research.
I love movies.
Absolutely. We all
Logan's
can.
big on
Yeah,
movies.
Ryan and I will do our own show. We'll talk about movies and Marvel and DC and all that stuff, and talk
Nice.
about favorite wheelchairs.
You guys we could all do a big show. I mean, it could be a nice little round table.
That'd be awesome.
I just got done watching Thor: Love and Thunder, and God, that movie was terrible.
It was bad. It was a
Christian
stinker.
Bale was so out of place in that stupid movie, and then
Yep.
having the weird like Thor has a boner for his old hammer, and
Yeah.
his axe is a jealous ex-girlfriend or something. It's like, what the fuck?
And then I went and watched a
Yep.
good movie, 13 Hours, and I was like, okay, I'm back to normal again.
You guys might be interested in checking out Slasher Sports. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Slash?
What's that?
What do you mean slasher sports? What is
Oh, it's a
what is
podcast.
slash?
Slashing is a hockey penalty, so I'm going
Oh.
to trigger Logan and say the word hockey on a baseball show.
Listen, Josh.
Oh no, he right.
wait.
He does sports and he does horror movies.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool.
Not
Sports
not
and
like
horror.
Debbie Does Dallas or anyone.
His
Like horror
podcast should have
movies,
been
like Friday the 13th
sports
and
and
shit.
horrors.
Oh, jeez.
All
I'll be
right,
here all-
folks. And that was the intermission. We all
Yeah.
got our beverages. Logan got his Bud Light.
Bootleg.
We got some water. Jay didn't take a break. He told the world about his brother's podcast, and that's how I found out.
Dude, Jay doesn't need a break, man. He's out here.
It's still early for me out here on the West Coast, guys. Sorry, I'm picking up the rear. I'm holding up the rear on this one.
Oh, gosh.
Well, Jay, who you got leading off?
Okay, just when I was feeling good about myself, I put down Ken Griffey Jr., but I realized, yes, Griffey Jr. is 89. I
You had the
know.
whole intermission to fix that shit.
That's
I
was
had him
hoping
in
to
the
that.
last show, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, then for my leadoff hitter, I'm going to go ahead and defer to. All right. Okay. I'm going to go Derek Jeter. Why the hell not? Derek Jeter.
I think Derek Jeter's the most overrated player in baseball. But
You know what?
statistically and from a production standpoint, I think he was a great captain and a fantastic leader, and that's kind of what everybody looks to. But if
Right.
you look at his numbers and his playing, I don't think that he was as good as everybody makes him out to be. That's just my opinion on that.
Is it weird that for the longest time people thought of him as like one of the greatest defensive shortstops, and then all of a sudden
it's very
it
weird
just
that people
shifted,
think that.
and then it shifted to like everyone talks about how shitty of a defensive player he was. It's weird. to me,
Part of
like-
his problem was he hung around too long, and
Yeah.
when he got older and his range got significantly worse than it already was. He made that one great play against Oakland in the ALDS, and
The flip.
everybody was like, "Man, this guy is going to win Gold Gloves for 30 years in a row," and it's like he wasn't that good. Calm down.
yeah.
Was Giambi even out?
Leading off for me, I got Alfonso
I think
Soriano.
it was. Giambi was out.
Yeah, Giambi was out.
It was a force out, right? No, Posada
tag.
tagged him out.
If he had slid, he'd have been safe because the catcher was standing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Alfonso Soriano leading off for the AL. The GOAT. 4.5 tool player. He wasn't fantastic average wise, but I mean, he did everything else very well. And I was also really shocked that he spent more years in the AL than the NL. That actually surprised me.
That's what I was just looking up. I didn't think he did.
I forgot that he started in New York and then went to Texas. I vaguely remember him starting in New York now and then going back to New York later in his career.
I thought he was with the Cubs in 2004. I thought he was a part of that.
No, he
really
was
good.
in Texas.
Yeah.
He spent 9 years in the AL, 8 in the NL.
Yeah.
What is WSN?
Washington Nationals.
Oh, that's right. He was 1 year there, huh?
But yeah, 412 home runs, almost 300 stolen bases, stole over 40 bases 3 times. Not fantastic walk-wise, but I mean, he had the speed, so.
I went with the speedy leadoff guy named Kenny Lofton.
Man, Lofton played good center field too.
Played with that Vizquel team with the Indians, little Tommy.
And he played college basketball for the University of Arizona. Helped lead them to the Final Four.
Yeah, I got Kenny Lofton.
What was that? 90.
Yep, that was 1990. Yep.
Yeah, I got Kenny Lofton.
Was that the Leitner? Was that the Leitner year?
No, Leitner year was 92. You're talking about where he hit that fadeaway shot against Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 92, bud.
'90. I'm trying. I can't even remember who won it in '90.
Oh God, NCAA champions in 1990. It wasn't. Oh, you're right. That goes way back. I'll Google it.
Was that the Rebels?
Oh yeah, you know what? It was UNLV. Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, and Anderson Hunt. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. Yep.
And that's who Arizona lost to, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you're right.
All right. Who you got leading off? Did you get it fixed?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chuck Knobloch of the Minnesota Twins. Debuted in 92. He was Rookie of the Year, was a Gold Glover before he had the yips, if you guys recall. He was a really good player before it just fell off the shelf for him. But I'm going with Chuck Knobloch.
They make fun of him like he couldn't throw from second to first.
Ankiel.
Yeah, right. Ricky Vaughn, Rick Wild Thing Ankiel there. But yeah, poor Knobloch, man. He was a good one before he just had the yips and could never recover.
Who you got leading off there, Logan?
I said Kenny Lofton.
Good speed.
I got Chuck Knobloch batting second.
I got another guy who spent 1 more year in the AL than he did the NL, and Carlos Beltran batting second.
I have him as an honorable mention after I finish my list. And I don't know if I feel good about that.
I mean, Beltran stole over 40 bases twice. I mean, he had 312 steals, got on base at a 350 clip, 837 OPS. But I mean, he was also a really good defender too. So
he had Rookie of the Year, 9 times All-Star,
435 home runs. It's going to be interesting to see if he ever gets into the Hall because of his ties with that Houston Astros scandal. But
yeah, right.
He only spent 1 year with the Astros. I thought with the NL Astros. I thought he spent like 3 years with them.
No, I remember him more as a Met than anything, but I do remember him being on that 2004 team. Which is nuts because he didn't even spend the whole year with them. He's played half the year in KC still.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't remember him playing for the Royals as much as he did. But yeah.
So he was a rental? He was a rental that year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it worked, I guess.
Played 90 games with the Astros that year. So he got traded early.
Yeah.
The deadline's not usually game 69, is it? It's more like 100, ain't it?
Yeah, it's always been around the end of August.
Yeah. So 90s.
Well, no,
Yeah.
back then they had that weird thing too. Like after the deadline, they had you could make that trade thing.
They only took that away this year. That was
Yeah.
trade waivers.
Yeah.
This is the first year that doesn't exist. It was a stupid thing anyway. I mean, anybody worth trading for was never going to clear waivers anyway. So
Yeah.
You got batting second, Logan.
Second, I have Derek Jeter because he was the greatest defensive shortstop of all time, most underrated player of all time, in my opinion. No, he was a really good hitter. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, he was a good hitter in the '90s, so it's hard to leave him out. And also, I mean, it's Derek Jeter. He's the captain. You got to hold all these big egos in check.
yeah, these superstars that think they got it all.
Yeah, right.
You got batting second, Jay.
I flip flopped. I know that you had Lofton leading off. I had Kenny Lofton batting second.
Well, I have my one steroid guy batting third. That would be Alex Rodriguez.
I have a guy that I'm going to say his name, and you're going to be absolutely mind blown that he's not in the Hall of Fame, and it's Manny Ramirez.
I thought about Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, I mean, 2,600 hits. I mean, 555 homers. Came with one of the largest egos in baseball history. I mean, do you remember that weird double cutoff play that he had when he was with the Sox? He cut that throw off from center field or something like that.
You pissed him off. You pissed Jason off. Yeah, he
I
was.
did
It
not
was such
kick
a.
Jason off. His phone died.
Oh,
Not 996 or 0.996 OPS, 154 OPS plus. He got on base. He hit home runs. He did everything.
yeah.
Look,
I'm
now
sorry
we're in
to
new
offend you,
locations.
Jason, with my Manny Ramirez comments.
No. Hey, he's the only player I know that could do it really well on birth control, man. So no offense taken. It's all good.
I completely forgot until I looked at his numbers that he spent 5 games as a Tampa Bay Ray.
Yes, he did. Very end of his career.
Trying to get that final pay.
It's like
Yeah.
whenever you think about Ichiro being a Yankee, he got traded in a series in New York. No, it was in Seattle. He got traded to the Yankees when the Yankees were in Seattle. And oh my gosh, that was the worst thing ever. But anyways, I had A-Rod in my 4 spot. Or I mean Carlos Beltran in my 3 spot.
Third, Jay.
The big hurt, Frank Thomas.
Hmm.
Yep.
Got to go with the big hurt.
It's hard to
Two-time
leave that guy
MVP.
off.
Yeah, 2-time MVP award winner. Had some of the biggest power, best power of any hitter in his era or any other era.
I agree. If you got that rookie card, it's worth a lot of money.
Yes, I do, by the way.
Really?
Yep.
Where do you live? Just curious.
Yeah, right.
I live in Fresno, California. It's in the heart of the central San Joaquin Valley in California. We're right in the middle of the state. If you pull up a GPS and you see a little dot in the middle of California, that's Fresno, man.
If you just drop your location,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
specifically next to the Frank Thomas rookie card, then
Yeah.
I'll be able to find you no problem.
Yeah, right. Brian and I were talking about going to Fresno just 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
man.
before you hopped on, man, it's crazy, dude. We were just
Yeah.
talking about
Wow. Of all the gin joints in all the world, go figure that shit out, huh?
Going to check out the Bulldogs.
You got
Oh.
insurance, right?
I had insurance up until now.
So, are you a keep your spare key under the doormat kind of guy?
No, he's got a fake rock for sure.
Keep a
No,
window
I-
unlocked at all times.
I trust my fellow man and neighbor. I keep my doors unlocked all the time. I have a spare key, of course I do, and it's on my person at all times.
There you go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, good job.
Yeah, well, I live in a crappy neighborhood.
Totally fine. I don't judge.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm sure that Frank Thomas card is locked up in a bank somewhere.
It's actually, you know what? It's in my 1990 Topps factory set, which I have right up here. And
Move your camera some, please, so I can see it.
Yeah, right.
well, here, hold on a second. I think my Topps factory set is up here. It might be out in the garage, but that's my '89 Donruss. I promise. When I find it next time, I'll show it to you guys. I'm not lying. I seriously have it in the factory set of 90 Topps that I have up in the garage.
I got the Ken Griffey traded card, and I have the Upper Deck Griffey.
Yep, I got those too.
I only have a Babe Ruth baseball, so
The only 3 rookie cards I have are Mike Trout, Nolan Ryan, and Cal Ripken.
really.
Nice.
They're good ones to have.
Yeah. But I got A-Rod batting, or no, we're on number 4, right? Cleanup spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Big Poppy.
Really?
It was between him or Frank Thomas.
Oh, we're doing all the whole career, not just the 90s.
Yeah.
That's right. I could have done that.
I left David Ortiz out of my lineup.
If it was based on the 90s, I'd have done Frank
Yeah.
Thomas hands down. But because
I
Big
had
Poppy
Jim
was
Tomey.
not
I have
very
Jim
good when he
Tomey
was
batting
with-
fourth.
Tell me was a good one too.
I have him as my DH.
Speaking from experience, I would hope you don't have him as your first baseman.
I watched him. I went to Cleveland and watched Tommy play first a bunch of times. So I liked it.
You
I'm
liked
sure
it?
you liked it when he played for the Phillies too.
Man, I like Jim Tomey, but he's the reason Ryan Howard didn't come up 3 years earlier, so I kind of resent him for that.
If we would have had the DH, we might have seen Howard then too.
Actually, there's a real funny story. The NL almost got the DH in the 90s, but the Phillies screwed it up for everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
There it is.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
that's the Alex Rodriguez rookie card right there.
Do you ever look up like how much those things go for and think, I don't like this card that much? Or
I did a while back, and I used to have literally, I'm not shitting you, thousands of baseball cards, and they were basically just a bunch of common cards that I got out of wax packs, but I was able to find a few that I kept onto that actually are worth more than what I thought they were. So yeah, sometimes I'll look up the prices on them, but like for example here, I got a Barry Sanders NFL rookie card right here.
Ooh.
That's the Pro Set rookie card. And then I have 1987 Don Russ, Mark McGuire, rated rookie card right here. That's not really worth much, but next time I'll find that Frank Thomas one and just make you guys even more jealous.
Yeah, right.
So back to business. I had Alex Rodriguez batting fourth.
Back to business.
Yeah, sorry.
Meanwhile, the guys are just overwhelmed right now by your cards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I had Frank Thomas in my 4th spot.
Who'd you have, Rye?
Big Poppy.
Oh, that's right. You said that already. All right, so this is where I started going a little different on my AL. I went like hitter, power hitter, kind of like I did the same thing in the 5, 6, 7, 8 spot too. I went Jeter batting 5th. to have like a leadoff guy after a big hitter.
I have A-Rod batting fifth.
Logan.
In my fifth spot, I'm going to keep him. I have Mo Vaughn as my DH. I was
looked at
thinking
Mo
about
Vaughn,
switching
like
it
the
up
name
to.
popped out to me like 8 times, and I'm like, no, can't do it.
I was going to switch it to David Ortiz, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it. Yeah, never heard of him before, but there he is.
Never heard of Mo Vaughn?
No, well, I've heard of him, but I never actually looked at him.
I guess I'm gonna be alone in the dude that I chose for first base for the AL.
We knew this. Though. All right, dog cameo time.
Yeah.
I guess Doc didn't like my pick for first base in the AL.
I think your mic turned down, Rye.
You sure?
Sounds fine in my head.
Who'd
How
you
do I
go with?
sound now?
Oh, you're good.
Cool.
Who'd you go with?
Sorry.
You're good, man. My dog usually does this too.
Well, he was just dead asleep 5 minutes ago. I don't know what the hell he's doing now. Anyway, are we talking about who we got batting fifth?
Yep.
I got A-Rod.
Jay, did you say you had batting fifth, sir?
Not yet. I went with Pudge Rodriguez batting fifth.
Okay. Pudge had great numbers altogether.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Pudge might
Even
be the
on the-
best all-around catcher ever.
Even on the field, he had like over 60,000 putouts.
Yeah.
To be fair,
What's,
putouts strikeouts get credited to the catcher for putouts too. So
That's still a hell of a lot of putouts.
Well, he won 13 Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Slugger awards, a 14-time All-Star, and then of course he won the World Series with the Marlins in 2003, but obviously spent the bulk of his career in the AL with Detroit and the Rangers.
Texas. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance
it's-
to look up the one stat either. Sorry, Logan. He had 156 double plays turned
Wow.
as a catcher.
that's nuts as a catcher.
That's
Did
crazy,
he
man.
also play? Did anyone catch that he also played third at the end of
Yep.
his career?
He played for the Nationals at the end of his career.
Yep.
And I guess it didn't go over too well.
I mean, it's him, it's Pudge, Mike Piazza, and Johnny Bench, right? Maybe Carlton Fisk. Or is it
You got to
Carlton?
put Fisk in there. Got to put him in there.
Yeah, I
Yogi
think the
Berra.
original Pudge you got to put in there.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, those are the guys that you got to think of. I mean,
Those
Yep.
are my 4 catchers I used in the 2 series so far.
Yeah, and then Yogi Berra, but that's just because he won a lot of championships. I don't think
Yeah.
that, like, in any
Well-
way as an individual, he was better than.
Right.
mean-
I think Yogi Berra got used in our first one, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, the first one, whatever we did till 49, whatever.
yeah.
59. I don't even remember.
I'm mad I missed the last episode, man. I didn't get to brag about how awesome Michael Jack Schmidt was.
Yes, you did miss that. You did miss that. You could have bragged for a while.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
sure everybody picked him and did all the bragging for me, though. So
It's hard not to pick that as your third baseman,
Yeah,
even
right.
through 3 decades. I mean, Frank Robinson was there, and because he played a little more in the
You know?
National League, I believe. Yeah, but Mike Schmidt was definitely my starting third baseman. I think it was yours too, right, Jay?
Yep, he was.
So, are we on number 6 now?
Yes, sir. I went with Johnny Damon.
Really?
Wow. I
Yeah,
thought
I just-
I had some bold picks, but damn, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's about to make a wild ass lineup here.
He had 2,700 hits.
I got Vladimir Guerrero, Senior.
I was thinking about Vladdy.
I mean,
But,
even earlier in his career, he could run and play defense too. But I mean, that seemed to have faded. That seemed to have faded off way quickly compared to his hitting ability.
Yeah.
And he hit everything, like literally everything.
Yeah, I was about to talk about the
Bounce
pitcher who
pitch.
threw the ball and it bounced into the strike zone and he swung it for, I think it was a double.
I think it was a double too. I know what pitch you're talking about. Yeah.
I think it was with the Orioles on that one. Maybe
Weren't
the
they
Angels.
trying to intentionally walk him and he stepped out and smashed it?
No, that was Miguel Cabrera.
Oh yeah. I thought it was Vlad too because he like we just talked about. You guys just talked about massive swinging ability.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad Miguel Cabrera started his career at third base because the 2000s one with Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols would be real difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Who you got
But is
batting
he
sixth?
considered
Lou?
more of an NL? Anyways, we'll talk about that next. Alex Rodriguez for me.
Batting sixth.
Yeah.
I don't know, Logan, to answer your question. It's got to be pretty. I guess he's probably more AL at this point.
Yeah. He won a triple crown in the AL.
I don't remember when he got traded to Detroit.
7,
this?
I believe.
Miguel
No,
Cabrera.
I think it
Yeah.
was 7, right?
7, 8, somewhere in that neighborhood. He's been with them for a while now at this point.
Got traded in
2000, 2008.
Yeah. 15 years with Detroit and 5 years with Florida.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that debate though, right? Because
Yeah.
No.
or I don't know how many. Pujols definitely played more for the NL, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year with the Cardinals is more with the NL. Well, I guess
thought that.
technically
I
last
think
year
this-
also.
Well, did he play for the
This
played for
year
the
makes the
Dodgers last
difference.
year? So how does that count?
What is it? 10.5 with the Angels and 11.5 with Cardinals and Dodgers. I think.
All right. Who got Jay? Who you got batting sixth?
So I went with a guy who debuted with the Angels in 1992. You might have heard of him.
Tim
His name is Tim Salmon. Tim Salmon
Tim Salmon.
came one home run short of 300. He finished his career with a 299 average, but he won a Silver Slugger Award. Was a 3-time American League All-Star with the Angels. Had a great cannon for an arm in right field. Tim Salmon's my number 6 guy.
Good choice.
I had his name typed in, and then I was like, "Oh wait, Vladimir Guerrero."
Gotta go Vladdy.
Yeah, 450 career home runs or something like that. I mean, he might even have
Yep.
over 500.
Yep.
I have Manny Ramirez batting seventh.
This is where it gets interesting. I had Carlos Delgado playing first base, batting seventh.
Ooh.
Nice.
Delgado.
450 long bombs, somewhere in that neighborhood. Let me look it up real quick so I don't just sound like a douche. I figured a lot of people would go Frank Thomas, so I was like, ooh, Carlos Delgado, who spent most of his career in Toronto on some
Yep.
bad Blue Jays teams. 2,038 career hits, 473 career home runs, 280 average, 383 OBP, 929 OPS, and a 138 OPS plus. Plus, he's a lefty, so gives me that lefty righty, lefty righty.
Funny, I remember him more as a freaking Met than I do any of the other teams. That's weird. But now like I'm starting to remember he played for Toronto and stuff. But whenever you said Delgado, I was like Mets.
Yeah, I think he spent like what 5 years with the Mets or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 years. One in
4
Florida
years.
and then 4 years with the Mets.
And Carlos Delgado was originally a catcher when he came into the Blue Jays farm and the Blue Jays system.
Yep.
Is he the one who hit the walk-off to win the 93 World Series?
No, that was Joe Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we're
duh,
gonna
that's
skip
right.
that one. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, that's
All
right.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was against
Didn't-
Mitch Williams.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the people getting it on in the hotel.
Oh, gosh.
They got a standing ovation.
I got Bernie Williams in the 7th spot.
Ooh.
Dude, I forgot about Bernie Williams, actually. Wow.
Career 381 on base, 858 OPS, and a 125 OPS plus. Spent his entire career in New York, which I forgot. So, really good player.
Damn, that was a solid pick, dude. I forgot about Bernie Williams.
I thought that was gonna be an interesting one, and then I looked at his stats. I was like, oh, never mind. He's a really solid guy.
Yeah,
Good
not
defender,
too
too.
much of a power hitter, but I mean, he pretty much hit 300 for his career.
Yeah,
Just three points under it.
yeah, 297.
Good pick.
Dude, you got to breathe so loud. Like, God damn, man.
51. Bernie Williams. Who you got batting 7th, right?
Me, I got Delgado.
Oh, that's right. You talked about that. Sorry.
I think we're on
Jay.
Jason.
Yeah, who I have batting 7th, I went with Mo Vaughn.
There
Went
it
with
is.
Mark.
There
Went
it
with
is,
Mark.
Logan. Another Mo Vaughn fan.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Well, like I said, I went a little different. I went Frank Thomas batting 8th.
All right.
So my shortstop is next, and it was between two dudes, neither one named Jeter. It was between Miguel Tejada and the guy I went with, which was Nomar Garciaparra, who is probably one of the best hitters that I've ever seen. Bat 310 for his career, and quite honestly, if it wasn't for injuries, he probably would have played twice as long as he did. But I really like Garciaparra. But it was between him and Tejada. I think just from like in a fantasy world that we're in, like doing this in from a player aspect, I think they were both better than Jeter. So if I needed to win one game, I'm picking either one of them over Jeter. But yeah, I took Garciaparra batting 8th.
I just think Garciaparra never winning a World Series hurt him.
Well, he was always hurt. That's one of the reasons why. I think he only played, 2 full seasons or close to 2 full seasons in his big league career. Other than that, he failed to play under 120 games. He was always hurt.
Miguel Tejada had 5 seasons where he played 162 games. And then he won the MVP with the Athletics in 2002. One of my favorite shortstops of all time. And I about punched myself in the balls for forgetting about him, so I had to rework my lineup real quick. So
Yeah,
I'm fitting him in somewhere.
Garciaparra bat 313 for his career. 521 slugging, which actually kind of shocked me when I looked at it. I didn't ever think of him as a power hitter like that. 124 OPS plus, but I mean, he went back-to-back years of hitting 357, and then he hit 372 that one year, and everybody thought he was going to hit 400. So,
Isn't he married to Mia Hamm?
Yes, he is.
what a lucky guy.
Nomar does studio analysis for Dodger television games now.
Yeah.
Does he work with Tim Neverett?
Yep, works with Tim Neverett. Also works with Dontrell Willis. He's on that team. And then
Dude,
he
I
also
remember Dontrell Willis's windup, and I was like, yo, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yep. Right, the D train, baby.
I think we all just thought about Dontrell Willis's wind up whenever he said his name.
Sorry.
I was ready to say something, and Ryan was already shooting it out. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Back to yours. He's played 8 years of over 120 games, Jay.
I'm sorry.
And the Garciaparra played 8 years over 120 games.
Oh, he did. Okay, I stand corrected then. Thank you.
Yeah, he's going to be more of those dudes where it's like a what if, but I think the fact that he was as injury prone as he was and still put up the numbers that he did, like,
Yeah.
I like Garcia Parra too. I wish Tom was here, but I couldn't get a hold of him. He would have. I think I would have liked to seen if he took Garcia Parra too.
I think it's funny though. The movie Moneyball totally leaves out Miguel Tejada and Eric Chavez just absolutely destroying pitchers
And,
for the A's.
and Barry Zito. I mean that pitching staff was so good.
Zito,
too.
Hudson, Mulder. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
they were incredible.
Yeah.
Ricardo
Rincon.
Racone.
Ricardo
Rincon
Rincon.
got traded in '99 too for shit. He was traded for somebody else straight up. Somebody else that I was looking at earlier.
I only watched like little bits of Moneyball. I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have watched the whole thing, but I didn't.
I think it's a top 3 sports movie of all time. I think it's really well produced.
It's one of my favorite baseball movies, obviously because I'm an analytics guy, but I mean, just it's so good. And yeah, it's a great
And then
movie.
all the memes that have come out too. Here's a guy. His only flaw is like, and then it's just some ridiculousness.
I never saw it, so I cannot comment yes or no. But I will try and watch it for next time, so I'll know what you guys are talking about.
Well, that's
I,
perfect.
the Ricardo Racone thing was something that popped up on YouTube, one of the shorts.
Yeah.
And they were trying to trade Eckersley for Racone.
Eckerton.
Yeah.
You don't even know who that guy is. I like Eckerton.
No,
You don't even know who he is.
no, I don't. I honestly don't.
No, that's from the movie.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
I wasn't shitting on you right there. You don't know anything, Adam.
You can yell at me. That's fine.
Sorry. Okay.
I have
Oh, go ahead.
I have Pudge batting last.
That's why batting last. I mean, that's a good number 9 hitter to have. So if Pudge is batting last, then your lineup be pretty deep.
61,000 put out. That's crazy.
I had Jorge Posada at 8, by the way. I love Jorge Posada more than I
Did
love
we not get your eighth?
Pudge. No, it's fine though. But then I
Okay,
got
Logan.
Miguel Tejada.
You
in
can
my
shoot
ninth.
me. That's fine.
No, it's fine. You know, I yelled at you for not watching Moneyball, and so you retaliated justly.
Jorge Posada.
I remember the very first Sports Illustrated Kids edition I got had Miguel Tejada on the cover when he was an Oriole, though.
I wanted him so bad as a Cardinal. But anyways, it's whatever.
All right, Jason.
Yeah, so my 8 hitter, I actually had Roberto Alomar. Now, yes, I know he debuted in 90 with the Padres, but we all know he made his bread and butter with the Toronto Blue Jays, helped them win the World Series 92 93, 12 gold gloves at second base, Baltimore Orioles in the mid to late 90s. And then, of course, he was on that Indians team that went to the World Series in 97 and lost to the Braves. And by the way, Dave Justice, who was on the Braves in the 90s, on that Indians team that lost in 97. So Roberto Alomar, my number 8 hitter.
1988.
1988. Okay.
F all you. I'm sticking with Alomar. F all you, man. I'm sticking with Alomar.
Okay.
Speaking of teams that should have won more championships than one, how the fuck did the Braves go from 91 to 2005 and win one World Series?
Because the Yankees were just that much better.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
The Yankees didn't even let him win a game that year. It was a 4-0 sweep.
What year?
Yeah, 99.
Oh, 99, yeah.
And then we had the game 7, the Jack Norris, John Smoltz game. That was crazy. You could never see a starter going that far. Both starters going that far that long.
Yeah.
Shit was unheard of.
Never happen again.
Probably one of the greatest game 7s, probably one of our greatest game 7s that I've seen. I mean, but I mean, you really had to be into a pitching matchup. That's what that was all about.
Yeah.
That was Idol versus Superstar, I guess.
It's like,
Like John Smoltz had posters of Jack Norris in his room and stuff growing up. Then to get to face him in a game 7. If you ever get a chance to watch that 30-30, Ryan,
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
if you ever get a chance to, that's a hell of a 30-30.
what's the name of that one? Because I feel like I watched that.
I don't even know the name of it, but just look up John Smoltz, Jack Norris, game 7, 30-30.
I watched a MLB TV or MLB Network documentary about the 90s. What was it? The 90s Braves. That was really good.
Damn, they were so good. I mean, the Braves are good again, too. It's like everything they touch turns to gold.
What, the Braves are ahead by 10 games, I think I saw.
Well, they're fighting with the Mets, but they're ahead of us by 10 games.
So it's a dogfight again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, at the start of the month, the Braves were 8 games back of the Mets, and then they caught them.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The Mets are kind of falling apart. They just got swept by the Cubs.
The Mets are going to Met, man. They do it every year.
I want them to be good going to the playoffs.
I don't.
I know you don't, but
Phillies are in that second wild card spot, right?
For now.
well,
I
the
mean,
Brewers aren't going to catch them. That's for sure.
The
Fucking
Brewers just swept the Yankees or something like that.
Yep. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
I
but the
still
Yankees are
think
doing sucky.
I still think the biggest surprise is the Guardians.
That division sucks, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, they weren't even like a pick,
Well, yeah.
unless you were a fan. I mean,
The White Sox were supposed to run away with that, and then Tony
Right.
La Russa decided to be a dumbass.
I mean,
They
I don't know.
they all got hurt too. Andrew Vaughn,
Yeah.
Luis Robert. I mean, they were all hurt for a long time too. Who do you have batting ninth, Jason? Before we just start talking about complete random shit.
Who do I have batting ninth? I have, let's see, I moved him down a little bit. I put, crap, I
Drafted
had
in
a poll.
1988.
Hey, no, trust me, this guy didn't debut in '88. I moved Bernie Williams down to number 9, guys. Sorry,
All good.
I got Bernie ninth.
Right. So what are we going to talk about here?
We all have the
Starting
same
pitcher.
starting pitcher, right?
Oh, I went with Mike Mussina.
I went with
That's a good one.
I went
That's a good
with
one.
Messina too. Yep, I got Messina.
And
I went with Doc.
ooh,
Roy Halladay, can't argue.
Oh,
was
you
he
know
more
what?
was he more years in the National?
No, he spent 12 years in the AL and then 4 in the National.
Oh, you know what? That's right. I can't do.
Texas and Blue
No, he
Jays,
was
right?
in Toronto for
Philly,
12 years, and then he went to the Phillies for 4.
Phillies.
Then he went to Texas for it too, right?
No. Retired as a Blue Jay.
Honorable mention for the NL real quick. Chris Carpenter, very underrated pitcher.
Yeah,
Top 5 every year, it seemed like. Almost
That-
won the Cy Young
that-
in 2009.
That game 5 is the greatest game I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's one of the best performances I've ever seen. You know, we're talking about John Smoltz versus the other
Jack
guy in the
Norris.
world. Game 7, yeah, Jack Norris. That's
Chuck
I mean
Norris.
that's Chuck Norris. That's Jack. But yeah,
I was so crushed when
that was-
Halladay lost that game.
yeah. I mean, he didn't even really lose it. I mean, he let what a RBI or a triple.
It was a triple
Skip
by
Schumacher.
Dante and then a double by
Oh.
Skip Schumacher.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
very first 2 batters, they scored a run, and then
that was it.
that was that.
And I mean, I think he even went 9 innings, right?
No,
Halladay?
Halladay went 8 through 126 pitches. Madsen came in, pitched the 9th.
Yeah. I mean, they
How
were
how many pitches did Halladay throw when he tossed that perfect game in the National League Division Series with Phils?
was it a perfect game?
The playoff no hitter, he threw
Yeah.
112, I think, and then I think he threw 115 in his perfect game earlier that year.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
He had a 10 inning complete game victory too when he was with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I think he had 2 actually. But man, I think he was ultimately the last of the pitchers that you could firmly give the ball to and they would go 9 innings.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I think after he left the league, that just stopped.
Well, yeah. What was it after 2013 and 14? He was doing really bad though, which was surprising. Like it was
just
weird
back
seeing him.
issues.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Caught up to him.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was just so weird seeing him that way.
Fun fact stat: since 2010, Roy Halladay leads the major leagues in complete games.
Makes sense.
And
Wow.
That's
with
a hell of a
17.
stat. That's a hell of a stat right there.
And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody catches him.
Nope.
No, because we like Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina just did their
325.
Yeah, most games played between 2 battery mates, and that's that's never going to be broken just because pitchers and catchers are just never like together that much. I mean,
Yeah.
No, it's a long time.
yeah, and pitchers don't need to go 9 innings anymore. They need to go at least 5, maybe 6. And
There's talk about just getting rid of the starting pitcher altogether.
well, yeah, the Rays. I think the Rays are kind of keeping that out of reach. It seems like just because they do so well during the regular season when it's done right, and then they fall apart because they get overworked in the playoffs, i.e., 2021, 2020.
That, and if you break it down, yeah, I mean, the analytics will show over 162 game series that works. But when you're in the playoffs, you got to break that shit down game by game and really analyze what's going on because you don't have 162 games worth of analytics. That pulling Blake Snell in Game 6, what doesn't get accounted for there is the momentum your team feels because your starting pitcher's dominating. I mean, that just takes the wind out of you guys, to see something like that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely taking Blake Snell out, that killed that whole game. Like, I seriously think that Blake Snell would have stayed in. I think Tampa would have taken it.
Yep. I agree too.
He was picking him up, putting him down.
He was just on top of his game.
And that one hit that really pulled him out wasn't even a real hit, if I remember. Like it was a weird hit.
Yeah, it was like a through the shift, like dribbler type hit.
Yeah, and hit the tarp and just was a double. And I get that you don't want to give the Dodgers a double because of that lineup, but still, they weren't hitting you. And
no, and that was a fluke hit. Like if they would have been in regular position, it wouldn't even been a hit.
Yeah.
Up until that point, before they took Blake Snell out, the Dodgers only mustered 3 hits against Snell. All 3 of those hits failed to get out of the infield. They were poorly, slow hit balls. So, yeah, you guys are right. He was clamping them down before he got yanked due to analytics.
Yeah.
And that's why I miss guys like Roy Halladay. Like, Roy Halladay was losing 2-0 in the 9th inning. He'd still be out on the mound. I mean, it's just who he was.
Well, I feel like Justin Verlander is probably the last of it, and he doesn't even get as much anymore. But that's because he's coming off Tommy John surgery. So,
bang those trash cans, Verlander.
Yeah, right.
Bang those trash cans.
Oh yeah, you're a Dodger fan, so you're still sore on that one.
Actually, to be honest with you, Logan, I've gotten over it. Okay. Yeah, seriously, I've gotten over it. I mean, it's like it's been 5 years now since that happened. It's like, seriously, other Dodger fans, I understand you guys are still pissed. The Astros cheated about it, and what's worse is they didn't make any apologies about it. But seriously, guys, fucking move on. Just move on, forget about it, and try winning it this year to prove them wrong. Just move on. That's my belief.
I mean, and ultimately, we wouldn't really have this scandal unless the players got that immunity and came forward and basically admitted to what happened. But at the same time, you know, you look at guys like Alex Rodriguez who are smeared because of what they did earlier in their career. Same thing's going to happen to these guys. My biggest hope is that guys like Bregman, Altuve, and Correa go on to have fantastic careers and they don't sniff the Hall of Fame because their legacy's tainted at this point.
Yep.
Altuve is the only one I can think of who might still get in the Hall.
Possibly.
Outside of this, I mean, since that year, I think he's been pretty like subpar. I know the shortened season he was god awful. He hit like 230.
Well, that entire Astros team was bad in the shortened season, and then they went really far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, look at look at the home record of batting average against away record batting average for the Astros.
The only one that
so
didn't
different.
change was Josh Reddick because he was terrible.
So, hey, guys, my closer obviously, Enter Sandman, Mariano Rivera. End of discussion.
Yeah.
Is there an honorable mention?
No, I guess my honorable mention would be a guy who used to close for the Angels by the name of Troy Percival. That would be my honorable mention. But Mo is number one. Percival would be my mention.
Nice.
That's why I said earlier is Ryan going for the metal entrance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Logan,
Logan, who's your starter?
My starter was Holiday.
Him and Mussina, it took Mussina unnecessarily long to get in the Hall, but I mean, you got to think their numbers are a little inflated because they pitched against dominant AL East lineups for the majority of their career. Because most people don't remember Mussina was an Oriole for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, he
all
was.
All those pitchers' stats are inflated if you think about it in that era because everybody was on steroids.
Yeah.
And they were playing, not Greg Maddux, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa. I mean, everybody. Alex Rodriguez.
Bonds never tested positive.
Oh gosh.
And the entire Texas Rangers, Juan Gonzalez, Jose Canseco, maybe Pudge Rodriguez, but still scratchy on that.
We'll have to read that report that lists a bunch of other BS names. Like, I remember Todd Helton's name was in there, and I just laughed. I was like, this dude had like 300 home runs in his career. He played like 20 years. What are you talking about?
That was a missile report. Hey, Adam, I hate to cut this short, but I got to take off, my man.
Well, Jay, you want to give a little quick plug?
Yeah, I'd like to give a plug. Hey, thanks again for watching the show, guys. And hey, if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is @DodgerJason. Love the follows, love interacting. So yeah, follow me @DodgerJason.
So
right,
not
Jason.
J-Sum with the M that you have typed in there?
Sorry, typographical error. It's Jason, O-N.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking
Yeah.
at it. I was like, let me make sure I get that right.
Boy, I not only screw up the list tonight, I screw up my name as well. Here, I'm gonna change that shit right now. J-S-O-N. There. Now I changed it. You happy?
Thank you.
Never happy.
All
All right. So, are we gonna do 2000 to 2009 next?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That I can do that one right now, honestly. Let's
I'm
do
not
it.
doing that one right now.
Yeah, Ryan Braun left.
Yeah, right. Prince Fielder, I feel like needs to be in there. 2000s.
Yeah.
I get that his last couple of years were bad, but it's going to be hard just to figure out the first baseman.
Albert Pujols.
It sucks,
but
but
I mean,
like you're leaving out Goldschmidt, you're leaving out Freeman,
It's going to be interesting.
I think Goldschmidt debuted in 11, if I remember correctly.
did he? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
We'll have
11.
to leave it for next show.
Yeah.
But we'll sit down and get this figured out. I guess Jay said he's better off on the weekends. What do you guys? Logan, I know you got Monday and Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Monday through Wednesdays. Well, yeah, I can do those days also, I guess. But
Oh no, I meant with your shows.
yeah, well, yeah, I do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So there's that.
And what are your shows again?
I go
My
to
shows. Oh, the seventh
I go-
innings. Oh,
Oh, are you talking about like when I go?
No, I was talking about Logan. I was letting him do his
Okay.
plug.
Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
do the 7th inning stretch and Cardinals Chronicles. 3 shows a week. Okay, except for the last 2 weeks, which in my defense was not all my fault, except my body's fault. But yeah, we're back at it. We did a show last night with the director of traveling for the Cleveland Guardians, and so that was really cool. He talked about how apparently he hangs around with all the players all the time, and so he talked about how he talks with Terry Francona, and they talk about like the good old days and how Anyways, it was a good interview. So watch that. VSN Network. VS Network. I don't know how to say this. It's so hard.
VSN.
VSN. So yeah, go look at that.
Definitely have to.
It's good.
Ryan.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan BSing Sports. It's spelled down here. Yeah, that's the correct direction. You can find me on anything BSing Sports, though. BSingSports.com pretty much kind of handles all of that. It'll give you a link to our YouTube, but you can find us on Facebook as well. It'll have all our plugs on there. BSing Sports. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can watch your shows. So go ahead and check us out.
Sweet. We got anything else we got to discuss?
No.
I know we're getting towards the end of the season. We're getting excited for playoffs a little bit. Well, you two are, maybe. Are the
Well, I'm
Cardinals
getting
in
nervous for playoffs at this point.
Are you about to say that are the Cardinals in it this year?
Whenever you're a Pirates fan, it's hard to really look at the stats.
They're
Yeah, I mean,
leading
your
the
guys'
division.
season over is in late May, probably.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
it's really hard to watch. I
Did he-
don't care. It's hard to even pay attention to stats and everything else.
Did you
like-
see that?
O'Neal
What?
Cruz is the best thing we have. So
Did you see that the Pirates were playing the Mets today, and someone hit a double, and while the play is still going on, Brian Hayes is reaching into his pocket, just standing there at third base, and he's eating sunflower seeds while Eduardo Escobar is running around third base.
No,
Yeah.
I did not. No, now I need to look this up.
Dude, you see these players nowadays, and it's like, God, man, like the dude who slid into third and his cell phone fell out of his
Yeah.
pocket. I'm like, why do you even have that on the field? Like,
Well, it was his first game ever, so
yeah,
I'd
but
give
in
All right,
Little
look,
League, he would've
look.
gotten
I had him
destroyed
on
by your coach for
StreamYard,
that.
and I had him video in the hit. All right.
yeah, right.
We're going to get a POV camera action of what it looks like to be a major leaguer's ass.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit!
Wrong
Yeah, who
way,
knows?
dude.
That might be the viral of the year.
Oh gosh. He farts and it fogs up the camera lens.
But wow. Well, guys, I thank you for coming on.
That's good.
I know that my timing has been off today, and I thank you for I guess staying up because we got off to a very late start.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this. I gotta look into it. See who won the World Series. Interleague started to play though too. So how do we want to mix that up?
We should just do DHs. Screw it.
Yeah.
Just do H the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Technically our honorable mention.
Honorable mentions. We didn't get a lot of them today. We had a lot of them in the old one. In the I'm not gonna lie, guys. We had a lot of them in the 50 to 89.
Yeah. I mean, they're God, that was such a good era of baseball too. The 70s and the 80s.
Yeah. I hate
Like
that I missed that one.
you probably could have came up with a whole nother lineup on top of your main lineup and been okay.
Man, I wish we could get like a simulator to put these lineups in and be like, all right, who would actually win in a 1-game series,
We were trying to figure out how to do that on MLB The Show. Mark said you could do it, and I was like, we'll figure it out. Let's see it.
Yeah, you probably have to have all the legends unlocked or whatever, but
But I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to see. We could play at Forbes Field, right?
Play at the Polo Grounds. Nobody's hitting a home run unless you either dead pull it or completely push it.
What was their center field?
730 feet or some dumb shit like that.
Jesus.
And it was like 200 down the lines.
So that's where they get these short porches.
Yeah.
Why would you make it that short?
Why would you make center field 700 feet? To be fair, that would be kind of interesting. I mean, as an outfielder, I'm sure that would be a complete nightmare, but
Right.
Well, I think it was an old. It was like an old horse racing facility. I think, right? The Polo
I think
Grounds.
so too. Yeah, Polo Grounds. Yeah, makes
And
sense.
it was-
That's probably where they got the name
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, and so they just didn't want to fuck with it. So they didn't want to fuck with the dimensions. So they were just like, okay, we'll do this.
So what they do? Store the batting cage net out there and stuff?
I doubt they even had batting cages back then.
I have no idea. I never seen any footage like pregame.
Yeah, now that you think about it, all the like mini clips that I've ever seen of like baseball games back then, I don't think they ever had the cages.
Yeah,
I
they were-
don't recall seeing them either.
I think they didn't even like stretching. They were like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna kill you."
What are you doing over there?
Yeah, you're gonna bust your arm.
God.
Anyways.
Well,
I
boys,
guess
what's that?
Oh, I was gonna say, I guess I should take a couple of gummies if we're just gonna sit here and party, right?
Dude, I need to take my pain medication. My arm's throbbing.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll get this 2000 ready to go. And what do you think? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
next week.
I mean, that's fine by me.
All right. We'll talk about it and we'll see.
Yeah.
But well, thank you guys for stopping by. Jason, thank you again. But anytime you guys want to bullshit about anything else, just let's do it.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
maybe I won't work a freaking 12-hour day today. I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have fun with that.
Yeah, that was not fun. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yep.
Well, boys, thank you for stopping by. If you want to hang out, hang out. If not, I'm gonna close this out.
Okay. See
Go
you.
for it.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Hey.